How's it everybody? Welcome back to Coral Reeches. It's Sanctum Gamer here, and we are looking down at our ever expanding town or district of Bedford, which is hanging off of the main city that you see all the way there in the background, with the surrounding towns all around. We've got Old Millstown over there, we've got Shepherd over there, and here we've got Springs, and no, this is Springs and this is Sunnyside. Yes, I remembered all the names. Everybody, welcome back. I think the last video I got so many comments from so many people on a lot of the problems that I'm facing in the city overall, and I got some really good suggestions and ideas, and I want to try and implement some of them in this video. Now it's quite sad because some of the stuff I knew about, other things I didn't know about, and I had completely forgotten because I faced a similar problem in my previous series of Scattered Island, and that problem was the idea of assigning districts to my city service buildings. Now I did get a lot of comments from different people talking about how I need to basically set up all of the districts, assign my clinics to those districts so that I minimize how far ambulances have to travel in order to pick up people that are sick. And also when people get sick and you assign a clinic to that district, it basically means that no ambulance on the far end of the map will be dispatched to it. And I had this problem in Scattered Island. I remember somebody in the comments telling me about it, and I remember when I first started this series, I said to myself, I am going to do this, and at some point I completely forgot it. So today what I want to do is that I want to start off today's build by doing exactly that. Now when I look at my districts overall, I do have a number of districts set up, right? Most of my areas are set up with districts. However, places like Springs, I think I can break up into maybe 2 different districts. And then we've got places like Shepherd that is just extremely large. I think this can be broken into 3-4 different districts in order to make it easier, because I've got a number of clinics in here. I've got 1, 2, 3 districts. 3 clinics, and if I'm able to break up Shepherd in such a way that this clinic attends to this area, this one attends to maybe this area, and then this last one covers this area, I think that will be a lot better for me. And then when I look at certain areas like these newly built areas that don't have districts, I've got my live stream town that also doesn't have districts, something that I will probably sort out in a live stream this coming weekend or this weekend. And then we've got places like here where we've built out places as well that there are no districts. So what I want to do is I want to start off today by setting up districts in all of the places that do not have districts, and then once we're done setting up all of those districts, I'm going to go ahead and assign all clinics to the districts that are closest to it. The only thing that I'm not going to assign a district is going to be the hospital, because I want this to be my catch-all service provider. So if I build a new area somewhere and I haven't assigned a district to it, and I don't have a city service in that area, well, the clinic anyways, then at least the hospital will or should cover those areas. At least that's my thinking. So let's set up a district around these areas. We'll set up the districts around the newly built areas, and then we're gonna go ahead and split Shepherd up into a set of sub districts, and then we'll go ahead then and do the assignment of all of the clinics. All right, I think now we've got everywhere pretty much covered. Oh, well, we've got districts pretty much everywhere, if I'm not mistaken now. And I just need to remember that as we build, I must put districts in everything that we do. So today we're going to be developing around here. So we're going to have a final district around here once everything is complete. Now that we have all of our districts, let me go ahead and let me look at my clinic. So I've got a clinic here and I've got a clinic there. So basically what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go to each clinic, I'm going to set operating districts, and I'm going to say for this clinic, it operates in Cedar Park, Maple, Evergreen, Applegate, Willow Springs, right? I think that should cover enough. I think this area will become a little, actually, you know what? This will be the sort of overlap for the two clinics. So I'll give it the main city center of Bedford as well. Then we'll go to this clinic, set its operating district, and it will also cover Bedford, and then it will cover the Bedford Apps, Bedford Springs, Blackbird, the industrial complex, and it doesn't actually have access to this area because this is the only way to access this space. So this is something that I need to deal with. But for now, I think going this long route and making it will make a plan. Let me give it that district as well. So that will leave all of these areas basically covered. Like I said, when I build out this area, I'll put a clinic or something that will cover this area and create better access for this space. So let's go around. I'm going to select every clinic and give it various operating districts, and hopefully by the time I'm done, I should have basically every single district completely covered. Okay, I actually think I'm done. I was about to start selecting areas here and I think I am done. And I'm just realizing that over on this side, I didn't cover these houses. So let's cover those ones as well. And then we are good to go. So if I am not mistaken, every single district should now be covered by a medical clinic. Yep. So I think that's one way of knowing is I just select a district and I should see a clinic assigned to it. And as long as I see that, you can see some of them have got two clinics assigned to it, others have one. So it all depends on the size of the area. I decide that I'm going to give it either one or two, but for the most part, from what I can see, pretty much everywhere is covered. The only place that I didn't do is Waterworth, which is our live stream town. I'll save that for the live stream to get that sorted. So with that, I should now have medical clinics covering everywhere. The only place I'm not happy about is over here. I think the coverage that I have over here is not enough. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to put another clinic over on this side because I think the coverage area here is quite big. We'll give it one of those, and then I will grab this clinic and then I will set it to operate here in Highcrest, Elm Creek, and I think that should be fine. So it will ensure all the areas in the back here are fairly well covered. And then this one has these two large areas as well, so there's a little bit of an overlap. And then this one over here also has these two over here, so there's overlap in all of these places, and everywhere should now be sorted. Now it's time for us to go on, if I turn on the widescreen, to tackle the whole disease and everything. And with that, we are about to go into a build. I got a lot of comments from a lot of you about how I can address the fact that my average health is just not going up. I want to say thank you all so much for all the comments, because I am about to implement a lot of the things that I received or that I saw in the comments. And the main things about that is we are going to introduce a university in this episode, and then I'm also going to make use of the Health Research Institute and the disease control, and basically hope that once all of these are implemented, it will actually do what it says it does by reducing all of my diseases and all those things, and hopefully help bring my average health back up. So the place that I have earmarked for my university is going to be this spot over here. So what I'm going to do is, before I just jump into it, I want to put down just a couple of roads to make sure that I know exactly where things are going to go. So I'm going to extend this road out a little bit. This is the one that has all of my trams. So we're going to extend the tram, and we're going to try and get the tram in and around this whole space as well. I'm going to go ahead and basically branch the road off here, sort of. So basically end it over on this side. And this area then serves as the first spot where I will put my first university building, which will be my research institute one. If I'm not mistaken, this should fit here snugly, which is perfect. And then I think I should be able to get a tiny little road behind it and do some kind of development. I think let's just turn that off, and I can put a little road here, and we can do something behind this one. The institution itself, I want it to be the main center of this area. And when I look at it, it is quite a sizable building, right? It's not too small. It's very big. So it's okay. I think this is big enough for me to actually get an avenue going over on this place. And this avenue will basically also carry the tram track. So we'll bring the tram tracks this way, and we'll bring it all the way around again. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and upgrade this actually to an avenue as well, same as this spot. And just to make sure that my trams will fit, go into my public transport, go into tram, grab the roads, and I think I can upgrade this one in this direction. We can upgrade this one in this direction, and also going in that direction. Oh, nope, the other way. There we go. So going in that direction. Cool. So the trams will turn. That is not at all a problem. I'll decide later on if I will upgrade those to 2 lanes or not. And then I'm going to plonk down the institution right over on this side. And finally, everybody, look how everybody is just happy that we have got a university in the region. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna upgrade this with its extension wing. I really wish I could upgrade things around here, but you know, it is what it is. We've got the university library, which this is gonna be a challenging one, but oh, I think we can fit that in that corner right over there. I'm gonna grab the disease control center, and we're gonna put the disease control center right here next to the university. So it will sit right over here. And actually, you know what, let's do this, because I feel like when you don't place it properly, it doesn't get the nice attention and all the nice big stars and everything like that. I want to see my big stars. So at least this gives me a decent idea of where it will go. So I will go ahead, put the road here, put a road over on this side, and then I should then be able to plonk my disease control center right here. And everybody's happy. I like it. Cool. So then with that, I think I will go ahead and just close this road off over on this side. And let's get rid of that. And then we can go ahead and we can upgrade our tram tracks all the way along there, and there as well. What in the world is going on here? Oh, so there we go. That turns, and these two end, and over here we're gonna have 2 tram tracks over on this side, this one. Oh, I've got my things the other way around. So nothing on this side, put it on that side. Nothing on this side, and there we go. So now we've got our disease control center. It's a beautiful asset, hey? This is an absolute gem of an asset, and I would love to even put more of them down, but it is what it is. We've got our Health Research Institute. We've got our university also in. It's already got people. And now with this, we are going to start developing all of this area out, and we're going to start blending this entire area in nicely with the university. And hopefully, we're going to see an increase in the average healthcare of our population. All right, let's take a small pause quickly. So I've gone ahead and filled in this area, and the idea was that I wanted to make a little bit of density here with a lot of residential areas. The idea is that this is probably a lot of student housing, or a lot of these sprouted up because the university is right here, and so it's cheap rent for students and so on. I think I'm gonna do a very similar thing over here, where we're gonna have more of the row houses and these dense housing buildings all along this area. And then I was thinking of doing some pretty funky builds with the university itself, like putting buildings over places like this and getting rid of like the parking lots and stuff, and just integrate the entire university into the city. But I noticed when I ran the game for quite a bit, just off camera, experimenting with the sort of things that I would like to do. If I remember, I'll put a picture up. I think I took a screenshot. I noticed that cars actually were parking on these parking spaces. So they're actually getting more use than I thought they would, because usually cars don't park in these sort of places. So because of that, I'm going to leave the university as it is, and I'm rather going to do something slightly different. I will put a couple of buildings and stuff around it rather, but then also maintain quite a green space in the immediate vicinity of the university, at least as much as I can, because right now I'm not a big fan of how it blends in, and that's why I wanted to put buildings all over the place so that the whole place just looks like one big logical unit and you can't tell the university from the rest of the town. So taking inspiration from universities like in my area, like University of Johannesburg, Wits, UCT, that kind of stuff, but purely because the cars actually use these parking lots, and I actually see students walking through the paths, right? So because of that, I'm not going to do that anymore, and I will just leave it as a green space. But overall, I'm starting to blend places like this in. We've got a college here, so again, some student housing and accommodation that sits along here, and I'll figure out how I'll blend all of this in with the sea a bit later on. I'm not 100% sure about this building because I think it does stick out like a sore thumb. Maybe it's the color that I am not a fan of, so if I can try and maybe change the color a little bit. Same for this one. I'm not a big fan of this thing's color, which just looks, it just looks weird. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I don't know. I'll see. I'll keep building out the entire place, and then if these continue to stick out like sore thumbs, I will change them. For now, we're good. Let's keep expanding. All right, let's see. This whole place is filled out. It's mostly residential. I think that looks pretty cool. And we've got of course, some planned housing. I want to build more of these, really I do. As we move away from the main downtown, I want to build a couple more of these in like spaces like this, getting closer to this industrial area over on this side. What I want to do is I want to expand this university out a little bit. I want it to come out and meet this road. So I want to get this over to this side and then have it run under. Let me just turn off Anarchy and see. Oh no, it's clipping. Maybe through there. There we go. Now it's not clipping anymore. Cool. So we'll bring this road down to about there. Let's get rid of that. And then we're going to merge this together with the other road. And I hope like crazy that I am decently connected to it. And yeah, that works. I think that works. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this road out over through to this side. Let me put my Anarchy back on so I don't lose anything. I'm gonna put that back over there, and then I'm gonna put a couple of fields here. So it's nothing extraordinary, but you know, fields nonetheless. I mean, it's universities over here. It only makes sense that there are a couple of fields that they can make use of. All right, so that's much better. And then I'll figure out what I'll put over there. And then to expand on the actual institution, I'm going to plonk down. I want to check something. Yeah, I can't put this too close because we've got a helipad here. But at the same time, I don't like this empty space unless I convert this empty space into a parking area, which might just work. But if I also put this too far away, then we start getting very close to the highway, which I don't like. So I'm going to enable my Anarchy and I will put it just a little bit closer. I know it's generally a safety thing that there shouldn't be too many tall buildings close to the helipads and stuff, but I don't think that is too bad. We'll give this one an upgrade so that it can handle a few more people. And I like the look. I like the fact that some areas are slightly taller than others, and these can pass off as other faculty buildings or, you know, student accommodations. But in my mind, these are other faculty buildings. I was looking at these commercial buildings. Oh, I think this is a beautiful building. It complements I think there's a disease center quite well if you look at it. I think this and this look like, you know, they are part of the same thing. So this is some kind of a mini expansion of this faculty building over here. And then this building is also quite a nice one. So I'm liking the theme of circular buildings around this area, or at least semicircular buildings around this area, forming part of the campus. So with that, what I will then do is I'm going to grab my trees. We're going to go into my brush mode, because what I want to do now is, because of how everything looks and the fact that to me it's not blending nicely, I'm going to put, let me turn off Anarchy. I'm going to put down a bunch of trees all around the institution itself, right? And then I'm just going to allow these to densify a little bit as I continue the expansion. And then I'll come back to it and try and see what we can do about putting paths and anything else that we can put in between to make it look a little bit more university-y. This was the challenge for me with this building that I really wanted to get away from, is that just because of the sheer way in which this building is, I feel like my creativity is limited. But as of now, I'm happy with the way this looks, that it's at least a green space. We have development that will take place over on this side. I'll have development over on that side. And then this can just look like the main campus itself. Over on this side, I am going to basically cut this road off over here. We'll do some developments here and we'll do some developments on that side. And then I'm gonna get this tram track to cross, and have it go all the way and merge up to this road, and then have a tram service that will basically access all of the areas that will develop around that space. Another thing I want to do with the university quickly before I move on is to adjust its color theme. Now it is this darkish greenish color, and I want to try and lighten it a bit. So I'm going to try and get it to a sort of whitish color because I think that will look better. So I'm going to try and see. So I've managed to adjust the roof. I don't know if I can adjust the body of the university itself. It doesn't look like I can do that. Oh, there's some red thing that's appearing there. Interesting. Okay, so that's not that one. And this is the last one, which I don't know what turns white there. Okay, there we go. So something there goes white. We'll make that nice and white. I'll copy that color set, and then I'll update its sub buildings, which I think it's not bad. We'll do the same for the school. So this is the unfortunate thing about the school, is that it's always orange and it just doesn't update, which is really, really sad. And then I'll do the same thing for, oh yeah, I like that. I think it's a little too white though. So we can go to it and maybe darken it just a little bit. I don't know what's darkening here. Okay, so this is the main body. So we can make the main body just a tad bit darker. And then I think that's a better look. It blends in a little bit better than the old dark green and whatever other color. So yeah, I think that's better. I want to try and continue a little bit of the expansion into this space as we continue to try and blend all of this area together. Alrighty, we have, wow, this has been a lot of building. Got all of this area filled in, got a couple of green spaces in there, and our city is officially one giant unit with extensions all the way along right up to here, with this, I don't know, little university as the buffer zone between all of this. And I love this. Like, I cannot explain how much, when I'm just expanding like this, how much joy this brings to me. It is just so nice to be able to expand the city. I mean, look at what we've done to our population. We've exploded our population by at least 6,000 residents in all of this building, which I think is just, honestly, it's fantastic. Now that the city is connected, I think it's looking a lot better. It doesn't look like such a disjointed two-piece thing. There's still a massive open space here that we still need to address, but I think in probably the next video we're going to address the space. And overall, I mean, I'm liking the way everything's looking. The only thing I think I should have done that completely slipped my mind was to provide some kind of a walkway to be able to cross this railway. And I think this is something I need to deal with either now or later. I am not sure. So I've decided that I'm going to leave it. I can't figure out where to put this path without having to completely destroy a lot of the buildings that I've already put down. So I'm thinking in my live stream, I will put this to whoever is on the stream, and let's see if I can get some ideas around the best place to put a path to cross this railway. And also, look at that, the university is already at capacity. I can't upgrade this any further, so I need another university somewhere else. So I need to decide whether I'm going to expand out on this area, or if maybe we put one in the live stream town all the way over on that side. I don't know. It's something that I'll have to figure out. I don't want to continue expanding until I work that out, and then from the next video on, we'll figure out how we incorporate all of the surrounding areas into what we've done today. Good expansion for the day. Nice growth to the city. I'm very happy. Everything is now joined as one big unit, and I am going to keep an eye on my medical health, because my average health has not gone anywhere since I put down all of these buildings. But over the coming game, weeks, months, years, we'll see if the average health of my people improves. Another thing is, since I started this video until now, a new game update came out. So now when I hide the menu, there is no mouse cursor anymore, which is kind of a bummer. So yeah, I guess we're gonna be spending more time in this in this view than in that view, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully we get our cursor back. Otherwise, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you've been here a while and you haven't done so already, and don't forget to turn on all the notifications. Leave a comment on what you enjoyed, advice, tips, and so on. It is truly appreciated. Big thanks to all of my YouTube members and all of my patrons for all the extra support that you continue to choose to show the channel. It is really appreciated. Enjoy the cinematics of our new area, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Cheers, everybody.